Welcome, welcome, everyone. Good evening. Happy Sunday. We are so glad that you have tuned in to.
Good
I'm just going to wait
evening.
1 second.
We are so glad that
Okay, are we ready? Let's go. We're ready, Miss Cannon?
1 second. I need to make sure my audience see this as well.
Well, everyone, as Miss Cannon gets herself ready, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to Women Emerge Network. I am the CEO and visionary of Women Emerge Network. It's an honor to come here. If you don't know about who Women Emerge Network is, please visit our website, womenemergenetwork.com. We are a network created by a woman, for a woman, a man, and their children as well, to embody them, to kind of network and connect with each other and begin to show love and appreciation to what business is all about. Sometimes I've been in the industry of network marketing. I call it people helping people business for over 22 years. And in that season of my life, I've helped so many people. And I felt that in that process, not only did I help a lot of people, but I felt like there's so many people that was in this form of community called network marketing that we were, instead of helping each other, we were against each other. And I believe that sometimes God allows us to go through a season of our life to see what needs to change for you to be the pioneer of something great. So I feel like Women Emerge Network will pioneer a lot of things to bring forth community, bring forth people in general to come together on a platform to help each other grow and tap into each other's network. So today, I'm excited because the topic that we're discussing is mental health. It's a draining thing in business. Sometimes we go through so much, and people forget as a business owner that we too have some form of suffering going on internally, even though we don't show it externally to you. So I have a wonderful woman that's on this platform today that has decided to come forth and just to share her story, her transition, her transformation in business. She has been in business for over a decade now. She's been at this phase of her life, doing so much for not just women in general, but for families. And I know that Miss Cannon White can share more in detail, but I tell you, this lady is full of knowledge. And when I tell you, when you sit with her when she consults with you, you'll realize how much knowledge she has to bring to your platform, to bring to your table, to help you in your own business in general. So I want to introduce to the world this wonderful woman who is a consultant. She is a doula. She is a business coach. She is a formulator. She is a boss. She does so much. She's a wife, a mother, a daughter, a sister, and she's a true friend. So I'm honored to be able to have her grace this platform on today. Alisha Cannon White. Thank you so much for joining us on today. How are you, Miss White?
I am, you know what, I'm doing pretty good. I cannot complain. I'd like to thank you as well for having me on your platform to talk about something that is extremely important. A conversation that is not really spoken on when it comes to being an entrepreneur. So, again, thank you so much for having me on your platform today.
Absolutely. I'm so thankful that you're here because this is a topic that I truly believe we talk about mental health just in people in itself, but we don't really talk about mental health in business. Being a business owner yourself, I just want you to take a lot of people don't know who is Alisha Cannon White. So I want you to give us an understanding of who is Alisha Cannon White. What have you done in the past? when it comes to helping humanity, helping business owners, helping families? And what are you actually up to right now when it comes to your consulting business? Because I know that you are doing a lot of consulting at this time. So tell us more about who you are, and then we're going to go into the depth of mental health as a business owner.
Absolutely. So again, my name is Alisha White. I am a mother, a wife. I am a beautiful friend. I am a humanitarian. My things that I specialize in is community herbalist, dealing with women with reproductive health. I deal with men as well. I'm also, a doula, a mentor, hormonal specialist. Um, I've worked in hospice. I have done so many different things to, help humanity in so many different ways. But for the last 6 years, going on 7 years, I have really, really been focused on creating amazing reproductive products for women and men that that's natural, that's plant-based, 100% vegan, products that have been served throughout the United States and different countries, put in magazines and things of that sort. So I have did so many different phenomenal things when it comes to the reproductive center in the last 6 years that I'm just blown away.
Wow. When you say reproductive center, reproductive health, give us an idea what that is, because a lot of people hear reproductive, right? And they may only just think of a woman in general, right? So when you have decided to enter this space, why did you decide reproductive health? Because I mean, as a nurse, as a doula, as a formulator, as a herbalist, you could have chose every other path, but you have a signature in your business as a reproductive queen, I can say, because you help so many. So what brought you on the path of reproductive health, and what does that mean to so many of us right now?
Well, years ago, I had faced a life crisis with my reproductive health. I had fibroids. I had bad, menstruals. I had hormonal issues. And when I was able to actually be able to heal myself from those particular issues, my biggest concern was to make sure that I help other women go on their healing journey as well. And my journey wasn't easy. I did not have anyone that I can call up and say, hey, what do you think I should do? Or I didn't have a counselor, of any sort. None of my friends or family members could give me wise advice. So I kind of just went cold turkey on saying, hey, I got to put my best foot forward and do whatever it is necessary so I could be able to have a peace of mind and also be able to have a stable lifestyle. So I went on that journey. It took me about 7 months to actually be able to go through it and see some major results. One of the results that I seen was not having fibroids anymore. Wow. And so the pledge that I made, what I had promised God was, that I will spend my time, teaching other women how to do it as well. Because in these dark spots, when you're going through different situations like that, that's when you really need a strong support system. And fibroids, dealing with things like that, it's almost like a common cold, especially in the African American community. And yet we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it enough, And so God forbid we even talk about it being something pertaining to prevention of how to go about avoiding having these situations going on with your body. So it's been a journey, but I have been able to help thousands of women and men, not just with the fibroids alone, but with infertility as well. That's another number one thing that's taking place within the lives of so many women in this world today. And again, is something that's not talked about enough. As women, we talk about the latest outfits we want to wear. We talk about, different hairstyles. We talk about makeup. We talk about clothes. But when it comes to what's taking place within our body, we don't have these conversations.
No.
So enough is enough. Too many women suffering in silence. It's time for us to take a stand and talk about those things publicly, so women that are suffering in silence, they can actually be able to get some type of help or have a support system when they're going through what they're going through.
Absolutely. And I love this. I understand our topic is mentally broken in business, but still I rise. But I want you to get to know who Alisha Cannon White is, because understand about a business owner. We all come from a story. It was a story of ours, our personal issue. Like, Miss Cannon White just mentioned, one of her reproductive issue was fibroids. And because she was able to help herself cure and heal herself through that journey of fibroid and not go the route that these doctors want us to go, which is having a what? Hysterectomy. She didn't want to go that route. So her storyline took her into the space where she's looking for something, searching for something. And now, behold, she formulated things to help change her diet, change what she puts on her clothes, change what she's eating, begin to utilize products that's on her skin to help her heal herself. And over the span of 7 months, her story went where she actually healed herself from fibroids. So within that space of a time, she was able to see that she could do that for herself. So she decided, you know what? If I can do this for me, if I can help me out, I know for a fact there's many other ladies that are suffering from from infertility, from from fibroids, from their cycle being too heavy, or so many other things, right? And she decided to journey on in business. So I am grateful. I'm thankful for your story and that you chose to heal yourself. So now you can help so many people along the way. So let's talk business. When we think about a mental breakdown, many people think my husband, my boyfriend, something happened, my some type of illness, disease, or something in that sort. They're not thinking how a business owner started her business and something like a curveball came in, knocked that business owner down, and then that really brought them into a phase of mental brokenness. And I say, in a sense, like the stages of grief, just like, when a person dies, your business can die too. And you're left in that stage of denial, the stage of anger, the stage of bargaining with yourself, the stage of depression, acceptance, fear. Now you can't trust nobody, and now you got to find the courage to get back up. So I want you to talk to us about what's your journey like in business, going through the phase of mental breakdown, but now you still are rising out of that shadow. You're now coming up and out and ready to really roll your sleeve up and go again. So talk to us about, as a business owner for all these years, we go through stuff too. What has been your challenges of you facing a mental breakdown in business?
I'm glad you asked. Well, I have been through different changes throughout my business journey. I went through the stage of moving from one city to the next. I went through the stages of closing. I had a storefront, closing my storefront down. I went through the stages of actually doing one-on-one in person with clients, services with clients, to doing one-on-one services with clients through, Facebook, not Facebook, but actually a Zoom. I went through having this particular year, having three well-established business, three of them. Two of them I shut down for one. One went to the ancestors. And after losing three companies in 1 year,
Wow.
I went through a very, very dark space. I actually went through a dark space.
Mm.
I went through, first of all, I went through not being able to get out the bed.
Mm.
Um, you know, People, we talk so much about being an entrepreneur, but to really get down and dirty and talk about how you went from six figures
Mm-hmm.
to zero is a
Mm.
whole nother conversation.
Mm.
It not only affect you, but it also affected your family as well, right?
Yeah.
You know, I was so excited that when the world was going through the most devastating time ever, the pandemic, my business was actually hitting six figures.
Wow.
And I was able to move in a 7-bedroom house. I was able to give my children everything they need. I actually gave my son my car at that time. It was really, really good for me. And that momentum lasts well beyond the pandemic. And to actually start one company, it actually started in October of last year. We was kind of putting things together, but to actually go from that space to this time this year, and you have to rebrand yourself, you have to reinvent yourself, you have to believe in yourself. it's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's, it's something that most people could not make it through.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I went through shame first and foremost.
Mm.
Shame because I had all these people depending on me. Can you imagine if you have so many people depending on you
Yeah.
and you don't even have the answers to tell them?
Mm-hmm.
You look up one day and everything that you worked so hard over the years to build
Mm-hmm.
is gone.
Mm.
So I went through
Just
this.
even just stop right there.
Mhm.
I love what you just said, right? Shame, the word shame.
Yeah.
You actually thought so much of them, but many people don't think so much of us. We think like, okay, we lost all this. This have happened to us. This has happened to me for my business and for my circle. And you're thinking about, okay, what can I say? But even in that midst of you trying to think about what to say, you're trying to get up out of bed. You
Trying
try
to
not to, have the thought of committing suicide. I'm
Oh,
just
I had
saying.
those thoughts. I had those thoughts.
Hmm.
Um, Not only that, my vision had like really went down. I really couldn't even see that good. And you know, yeah, it was a really, really, really dark spot for me. But one thing that I can say that really helped me was the support. You're gonna need, and if you're gonna be an entrepreneur, you're gonna need a strong support system.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that I can never just come on live or anywhere, have a conversation with anybody and tell them that I didn't have a support system. I actually had a support system. But my thing is, I'm a very private person. And so they felt me, they knew what I was going through, and they continued to push through to help me get through some of the most challenging issues that I was finding myself going through at the time. But me being in a space where I had to actually be able to be vulnerable enough to even let them know what type of pain that I was feeling inside was a lot for somebody that's a very private person.
Yeah.
So the shame kind of went away. I was able to personally develop myself. I had to go all the way from the beginning of what I actually did and the time when I was facing some challenging, dark situations with the fibroids. I had to build my inner man up, right?
Wow.
I went from building my inner man up and saying, you know what? I did the best that I can possibly do and made the best decisions at that time. And now I have to get up and move forward, because instead of using that shame as how people are going to feel about me, how they're going to think about me, I'm going to use that, the opposite of that, and say that you can't stop now. You have so many people depending on you. You have to keep going. You know, though it's some people you would never be able to satisfy, no matter what the situation is. And I have came to realization that I don't even care about that no more. What's really important is my mental health, my self-growth. So I went through that, the shame. I think the shame was the biggest part of the grieving process that I went through. Because it wasn't just my company. It was, I had a vision on making a company for everyone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And to have so many people believing in what you believing in, and then it don't work out the way you want it to work out, that's a lot. That's a lot. So after the shame part, I went through the fear. The fear stage came on me because I was like, girl, you ain't got no business right now. You know what I'm saying? The healthy womb part transition. The
Wow.
Yoni Trap House transition, you know? And the other business that I don't even care to bring up went to glory. So you don't have nothing,
My gosh. Wow.
you know, but you still want to do something. And so I
Wow.
kept thinking, it was like a part of me kept saying, well, what if you mess up? What if you mess up again? You know, what if you mess up? What you think you know what you're doing this time? Can you actually be able to run a successful business? Who, you know, I was behind the scene type of girl. So a lot of even though I worked for myself and just had like employees, a few here and there throughout the 6 years, everything, it was just me. So I didn't have all these other people in the situation. But to now that I have people and other people in the situation, and to be able to come back and say, hey, I'm ready to, you know, rock and roll, that fear came in. And it came in extremely heavy. So that put me right back in a dark place. And again, personal development and having that support team came and said, hey, girl, you helping me. You in the bed and you talking to me. You talking to my inner spirit, and you're helping me get back on my feet. But yet you still going through whatever you're going through. You don't know how powerful you are.
Yes.
And so that's kind of like the phases I went through. Then I went through, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I am powerful. And you know, I can do this. And the mission still has to live. So
Yes.
you're right. You're absolutely right. And these people still want these products. I had people from all over reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you still sell products?" A lot of people thought I wasn't in business or whatever else. Even though I took a small break, I still, the mission was pretty much still alive. And the only thing that brought me comfort in those times in the dark space that I just went through was creating, still being
Wow.
in my creative energy, still being able to, make products,
Yes.
still being able to talk to people. Those are the things that kind of helped me say, you know what, girlfriend, you was not about to have this pity party. You got to get up, you got to shake this off, and you got to keep
Yes.
going. And so after going through those different phases, I think the last phase I went through was just trusting me.
Mm. Wow,
Um,
that's a big phase.
oh, that's a big phase.
Hmm.
Because, when you let yourself, well, I'm not going to say I let myself down, but when situations come about and it begins to pour into your psyche as you're not good enough for something, or um, this isn't the season,
Mm.
um, you might not be able to continue the journey. Maybe you need to pass the torch on to someone else,
Mm.
uh, or if people wanted to be involved to actually help you, not trust in that because of what I have went through. That the trust issue really kind of just took me over, and it took me right back in that dark space. So I had to, again, because at this time my support system, that when I did get out the bed and I went to the warehouse and I was working and stuff, I shut the warehouse down. And so I didn't see my tribe like I used to. I
Mm.
mean, I was able to talk to them verbally, but I didn't see them. And I was having the trust issues on, should I even close the doors down at the warehouse? Should I just go back to nursing? Like, what should I do?
Mm.
And something came over me. Something came over me that took me back when I was 16 years old.
Wow.
16 years old and had a 3-bedroom apartment. Been
Wow.
working since I was 14 years old. I went back to that time where I felt like I was unstoppable.
Mm.
I didn't know if I was going to be able to maintain a 3-bedroom apartment or not.
Mm.
I
Wow.
was a child. I
Wow.
was still in high school.
Mm.
But I did what I had to do at that time. And I'm grateful because I never had to go back home in all these years. I never had to go back home. So I'm so grateful that even in that time when I was, a teenage mom, 18 years old and pregnant,
Mm.
you know, I didn't know what was happening with my body. I knew I was pregnant, but I didn't know like how to be a mom or
Mm.
any of those things. But somehow a superpower came over me, and I was able to be a wonderful mom, raise my first son for 5 years by myself.
Wow.
And so I say this to say that, in your darkest moment, you see a light.
There's a
And if
light.
you just focus on that light and you just focus on what you want in your life instead of what you don't want, you'll get more of the things that you need. So that's kind of how that journey went and how that has helped me through all of this to keep going, and not just to keep going, but to also develop myself into being more wiser, stepping all the way out my comfort zone. I don't have a comfort zone no more, right? Because I know what it looks like to be extremely successful, and I know what it looks like to be at the rock bottom. So that humble pie, they tell you you need to take a piece of that humble pie. Baby, I ate the
Yeah.
pie, the cake. I ate the pie, the cake. I even had the Kool-Aid, okay?
I
So
mean, it's just amazing, Alicia. When you think back, having having to go through life on your journeys, starting working at 14, having a three-bedroom at 16, having your first child at 18, thriving in a place where over time you had two surviving business. You had the trap house, you had the womb, healthy womb business, and these are business that you personally had, with the help of your clients and the spa owners, took to set six figures, and you boldly stepped away and turned and closed the door for two business to make one vision manifest into something great. And when that other door had to close, you went through a meltdown, because from a person that since you were 14 working and thriving, to see where how you had to hit rock bottom, but even through your mental breakdown, yet still you rise. And I love the fact that you pulled that that warrior out of you, to remind you that there's purpose still in you. There are people that's still waiting. I remember the first time I've ever experienced your products, and I told you that you saved my life, because you did. And I think about, me back to back, two back to back miscarriage, one stillborn, and not having my cycle for a consistent 2.5 years, and just having my body go through the hormonal issues, and just cannot get my body right, having a reoccurring, yeast infection as woman. I mean, I'm talking boldly and sharing my truth here, but I didn't understand that, because of what was inside of my arm, as a preventative method, caused that to happen all the time to my body. But when I met you and I told you my story, you said, Melissa, try, I'm going to give you these things to try. And you put me on a regimen. I call it my self-care regimen. To this day, I abide by my regimen. And when I tell you, it's because of how you saved my life, and have helped me on the journey, the better path of my journey, to be more aware of my body, and to understand the power of what I put on my skin and in my body. That is really what kept me going, and finding the passion in what you do, as a way that you got it. No matter how low this curveball hit us, we about to get up. We're about to rise up, and we're going to take our rightful place. Yes, that hurts. It hurts so bad to know that we all had to face this phase. But I tell people, listen, before I was created, before you were created, Alicia, God knew that this was going to happen. And I always tell people, you must learn from your mistake. It's either you're learning from it, and while you're learning from it, let's learn how to grow from it, or grow through it. And you had that opportunity to grow through this journey. So now, understanding you as a business owner, the challenges that you had to face, the shame, and from that shame, you had to figure out how to rebuild yourself through personal development. getting yourself back to the Alicia that you really know, then you still have to face the fear of, what people think, the fear of what happened, the fear of, all this thing came into place. I always call fear false evidence appearing to be real. You have to face that. And then you still have to remind yourself of the mission. You knew what the greater cause is. If God, I can heal myself from this fibroid, I will make it my duty for the rest of my life to serve humanity. Your mission, you had to remind yourself and pull yourself up on that. And then you had to build back the trust, not the trust in people, but the trust in you. So
Absolutely.
understanding like where you had to go and where and now understanding the mental breakdown you as a business owner had to face, but yet still you rise and you're here today and you're taking a different step into your business. You're going back to the basic of consulting.
And you know what? I feel absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Like I I feel like what happened to me in this season was the best thing ever for me. And the reason why I said that was because it taught me, it gave me more wisdom, it made me feel more comfortable in my own skin to know that I can handle this.
Yes.
I have what it takes to be successful in anything I put my mind to because I already have that track record, you know?
Yes.
And it also let me know that what's in me, it's not a devil alive can steal that from me. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? You can make products, you can do whatever you want to do, but you ain't got my juice, you ain't got my juju, baby. You don't have it, right? And
Yes. Yes.
so I'm glad that that happened because I will never be behind the scene on anything that has my creation in it.
Come
I
on.
can't be behind the scene on my creation
Mhm.
anymore.
Yes.
I don't have to run everything. I learned in this season that it's perfectly okay to delegate, to put
Yes.
people in positions to do things that I don't have the skills nor the knowledge in on, being able to do it. And
Yes.
that's perfectly fine. I learned that a business is a teamwork. You cannot become
Mhm.
a millionaire or just
Mhm.
wealthy in general by yourself.
Come on.
You're going to have a team of people to be able to do that. And everybody on your team needs to be respected and loved, and they need to be cultivated and
Mhm.
to whatever it is that God put them on this green earth to do as well, right?
Mhm.
And so I learned that it's not about me. It's not even about you. It's about the mission. And the
Yeah.
mission is is so big that
Mhm.
we have to say death to the ego, right? In order to make whatever this mission is be able to grow as big as it needs to be in order to create some type of change,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of
Absolutely.
the day, women are going to continue to suffer in silence if we don't make us, if we don't change, if we don't
Yes.
shift. Nothing is meant to stay the same forever.
Nothing.
And
Nothing.
so, my biggest thing with the previous companies that I had was to be able to duplicate myself. And those that have been riding around, on this journey with us know that there was something that was constantly saying, Alicia really wants to be able to duplicate herself.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, no information that you have has not already been thought of.
Come on.
I'm
There's
going to say
nothing new under the sun.
nothing new under the sun. what I'm doing, what I'm sharing, what I'm bringing to the table, there's many beautiful women that have already did it. I don't have to reinvent the wheel.
No.
So with that being said, I do plan on for us with next year being able to duplicate myself in a way where women will be able to get the knowledge needed in order to make a difference in their community. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's going to take communities within the community to make a change with something that is so big like reproductive health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And knowing that's where you're heading, I
Mm-hmm.
want you to talk more on the consultant side. Tell us more about how are you reaching the community now in a space where, because the thing about people, I'm not gonna call a race or anything, but you have to understand a lot of us have the trust issue, right? And a lot of us are kind of moving towards more of the natural path of how to handle your health. And sometimes we just don't know how to do that. You know, the great book says the people perish because of the lack of knowledge. And I truly believe like you have the knowledge, the know-how, and what to do on a natural pathway to for a woman to say, you know what, I want to have a baby, but I don't, but the doctor told me I can't. But because of your system that you have in place, you can consult with that person and give them the guidance on how to take their body on that journey. Or you can say, okay, a person may say, I have fibroids and I don't know how to get my body, release this out of my body. Through your consulting side of your business, you can now consult with them on that matter. Or a person that has hormonal imbalances, so walk us through the Alisha now. I know we have heard about the Alisha in the past, but we see now this new Alisha Cannon White is now arising as the phoenix, that she is, as the beautiful angelic being that you are. You're arising and taking your rightful place. But what does that look like when it comes to your consulting business?
I'm glad you asked. So, throughout my life, whatever kind of fear that I went through, or whatever kind of situation that took me out, whether it was, being molested, whether it was domestic violence, whatever it is, I always say if you're still breathing, you are not a victim, you have the victory. And with that, I heal through teaching and watching other people heal. And so, just like when I had the fibroids, the test of time was being able to heal myself. But really, what made me heal from a whole nother aspect is being able to teach other women how to do the same. And so the consulting business is not to take away from anything, none of my big plans that I have for next year. But the consulting business is in place so I can give back because I'm already victorious from all of my ills, right? And so it gives me much gratitude to be able to assist other women that are dealing with infertility, PCOS, endometriosis, fibroids. It gives me great comfort to assist other women that are starting their wellness business. Through my pain, through my struggle, through the wisdom that I accumulated over the years, I can be able to flood that into her psyche to make her become wiser in some of the decisions that she might be faced with starting her own wellness business. And then even the product line. I mean, I went through many different phases with my products. I went through relabeling, rebranding several times, not just one, but several times. I went through not being able to have any bottles during a pandemic to being able to, get a reliable source to get bottles in when the whole world was shut down. Like, I went through so many different changes. I went through having 3 companies to them shutting down to rebranding myself and rebuilding myself again. So the wisdom that I have inside of me, I'm looking for seeds. I'm looking for seeds, and seeds are individuals that feel like they stuck, whether they stuck in their reproductive health, whether they stuck in opening up a successful wellness business, or whether they stuck with their own product line. I heal more and more every day, seeing and helping these other women heal. So that's kind of how and why I started the business aspect of consulting. Um, right now is a good time for that, right? Because coming next year, I'm only going to be able, I have like so much going on that I only will be able to mentor maybe 2 individuals a month. I'm not going to overwhelm myself with trying to help so many different people, because at the end of the day, what I learned was the most important thing about operating a business is having balance.
Yes.
You have to balance your family. You have to balance your business. But most importantly, with your balance, you have to manage and balance your self-care.
Absolutely. I love that because when you think about mentally broken or a person in business having a meltdown or something in that sort, it's because they're off balance. They
Off
put
balance.
everything in front of, I always say God, family, money, God, family, then money, right? Or God, family, friends, money, however you want to put it, right? And the thing as a business owner is we're so let's do it, money, 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 no sleep, mess up our digestive system, mess up our, our for a woman, her hormones, how she flow, not drinking enough water, not exercising, and that's where the mental breakdown happens. So I love that you did mention the fact that as a business owner, in this season of your life, you will have to cut it off.
Oh,
You're going to
yeah.
do business, but cut it off and say, listen, I only can give 2 people my time because I want to balance myself to give you as much as I can to teach you the process through this journey. But I also want to give my family, give me my self-care, focus on growing my other side of my business and much more. So I know we're going over time, but I want to actually wrap it up by telling us what's next. I mean, this is a part one of us having this conversation, because even with you also, it took a while for me to get back out. And you know this, it took a while for me to get on a camera and feel comfortable again. Everybody know Melissa loves to talk and enjoy life and, just have a good time. And I have this great confidence about me, but the previous opportunity we were part of, it kind of took a toll on me. And I realized that sometimes you have people that's in your space that I call them leeches. They stick to you and they squeeze everything that they can get out of you. But when you are left in the open, they're nowhere there. They're just gone with the wind. And I had to also go in to a quiet space between me and God. I had my mental breakdown as a business owner. I had that. I had a space where I was happy because I have a strong faith in God, because I have a mentor and my own leader, my apostle, Apostle Sonia Thompson. And I listen to my other graders and listen to my God and, pray to my God, I was able to stay on this earth. But if I didn't have that, Alicia, with what I face in my business and to see how things happen, when I tell you, I want to be above the earth today.
Absolutely.
Mental health is serious, y'all. And as a business owner, we must take care of ourselves. You
Yes.
must stop. Sometimes you got to pull away from the noise. Even though they may we want you to talk about it, want you to, so tell us what's going on. Tell us what's going on. That's not your time. Your time is to go in and take a breath, breathe, listen to what's next for you. How can I rebuild myself back up? And I'm glad that you took that time for yourself and figured what it is that Alicia needs to do, not for the people, but for Alicia. So, what is next? I mean, I know you're doing a consultant. So, how can, if someone wants to consult with you, how do they find you? How do they get to connect with you on this journey that you're headed on? And if you can leave us with some encouraging words. There's a lot of business owners that are looking, Women Emerge Network will be connecting with your brand through our Women Emerge Wellness. We will be connecting with your brand. So I'm excited about our collaboration. Business owners, listen, it's okay to collaborate. You don't got to be in everybody's business, but you can work together. That's why Women Emerge Network exists. We're not here to compete against anyone. We're here to complete each other. So thank you so much for accepting me as a partner with you on this journey of health and wellness, and to really bring this message, out to let people know you don't have to suffer in silence. There's so many of us, there's so many great products that you have inside of you that will be released to the world that they can utilize to help themselves heal from within. So tell us more about where you're going. How can they connect with you? And leave us some great, give us some affirmation or something to leave these business owners who are in this moment. They're too are suffering in silence. They're too having a mental breakdown because, January to November. It's been a hard season,
Oh,
but still we're
absolutely.
rising up to take our rightful place. So go ahead, let us know what you.
Well, well, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and say that I greatly, greatly appreciate everything that you're doing. It's well needed. Collaboration has always been the beat that I groove to, um, especially nowadays. Again, networking is extremely, extremely important. And when I first started my business, I was doing it word of mouth. I did not have any networking skills. I didn't even have any marketing skills or had anyone on my team doing marketing. So the fact that you have a platform for business owners to collaborate, to, networking in a way where you're adding to each other and not taking anything away is so phenomenal. I just want to, just bring that back over to you and say thank you for helping the women, the children, and the men with your platform is greatly needed. And to go back to basically you're asking what's next. I mean, it's up from here, um, I have so many things that I really would love to talk about right now, but again, I don't want to prematurely put information out because, like I said, there's a lot of people still depending on me, right? And so I just want to use wisdom with making sure that the words that I speak of is in correct alignment and the timing is right. So divine timing is everything for me. But I can say be on the lookout for some amazing things that's going to happen the beginning of the year. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be able to reinvent myself, to be able to rebrand myself, and to be able to not just do some phenomenal things for myself, but be able to put other people in positions to be able to benefit off of what I'm doing as well. So I'm excited about that. And again, when the timing is right, I will announce that. One thing that I can go ahead and put out there is the fact that I will have a school. Again, so many women need this knowledge. So a school will be in place, but I'm not doing it by myself. I have a team of powerful women that are going to collaborate with me as well. Again, that information will be given out at a later date, but that's something that is going to take place next year. So it's a lot of amazing things that I am working on. I'm kind of like behind the scene, only making time now to really, help those that are in need. Because like I said, the healing helps me to heal as well, especially with what I've been through. But yeah, that's all the information I'm going to share right now. And again, at a later date, when it's divine, I will go into more details about all of it. But if I had to leave entrepreneur with any kind of wisdom right now, the first thing I would say is balance. Your personal development must come first.
Yes.
Being an entrepreneur is not peaches and cream. Even if you have a team of support, at the end of the day, what you do and how you do it is going to make the world of difference. And not only personal development, right? But to make sure your spiritual vest is on at all times.
Yes.
Because outside influence on what you should and should not be doing can put you in a state of mind where it seems like it's almost impossible to get out of, right? So making sure your spiritual vest is on, prayer, meditation, grounding yourself, all that needs to be first and foremost, right? Balancing yourself. You don't have to do everything, right? Make time, get you a calendar, write down the days that you're going to clean your house, write down the days that you're going to, how many hours that you're going to be spending in your business. Everything needs to be in time management, right? One thing that I always hear business people always say, I don't really don't have time to do this or do that. How many hours do you sit on Facebook or any social media platform and just stroll down? That's time that you can be doing your business, right? So time management, balance, spiritual vest, right? Do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do, right? Making sure that you take self-care, being able to find things that you like to do in between work. Don't just have it work, work, work. I'm gonna be honest with you, for these past years, like for instance, I've been staying in Atlanta for 3 years. I don't even know the difference between midtown and downtown because I've been on the grind mode since I've been here, right? But going into 2023, I'm still going to be in grind mode, but I'm going to have time to enjoy myself as well because life is not promised to none of us. None of this stuff. You can't take none of this stuff with you, right?
No, we can't.
And another thing, spend time with family.
Yes.
Spend time with family because so many things is happening. And you never know when your last I love you is going to be. So spend time with family. Really, family comes before business. And I'm going to say
Yeah,
that some people might not agree to this,
I agree.
but family comes before business. And the reason why I'm saying that, you got so many successful people die alone. They had the family, but they just didn't have time for the family.
Mm,
My sons are teenagers. They almost about to be grown out their house, and just me working and doing business, I feel like I missed so much time in their life that I
mm.
can never get back. So making time for family is extremely important. You know, one more thing, and this one I'm gonna leave you with. You hear so many, especially in direct sale companies, you hear so many people say, run after your why. Your why is why you do this. Your
Mm,
why is important. Your why should make you cry.
mm,
I have heard that for over 20 something years of being in direct sales business, right?
mhm,
But let me tell you something. If you can't enjoy your why,
mm.
if you can't spend time with your why, if you can't love on your why, then why are you even doing it?
Come on.
So again, build your business. Know that things happening in your business. One day you might make $5,000. The next day you might make zero. It's perfectly okay. Just keep going. Learn how to budget. Learn how to improve. Learn when to let things go.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
It's not working. If it ain't making dollars, it ain't making sense. So learn how to
You
let
say
things
that.
go.
If it
And
ain't
be
making dollars, it ain't making sense.
it
Come
ain't
on.
making sense. Be okay with who
Yeah.
you are.
Mm-hmm.
Do the best you can. Live
Mm.
life in love
Oh, wow.
and be in peace.
Wow. I love it. I mean, when you even think about what you just said, I mean, you dropped a lot, Alicia, like seriously. And one of the biggest takeaway from what you said from me personally is taking care of you. I witnessed how I burnt me out this year. And it took me in August being in the hospital, not doing my full best, being in the hospital for 5 days. And I had to, like, I literally got dressed and was like, y'all not keeping me here for another day, you know, to now having to go to chiropractic care every day, going doing two acupunctures, twice a day, twice a week, doing a massage every other week, taking my walk, sleeping, you know, and taking better care of me. It took me to have a mental breakdown in business to actually get me together. Because if when you go on that plane, they tell you all the time, put the mask on you first before you save your child or the person next to you. In
Yes,
business, understand if the mask is not on you, there's no oxygen coming to you. I'm gonna
absolutely.
repeat that. If the mask is not on you, you have no oxygen to breathe because
Yes,
you're just going and going and going and going. But you have to recognize in life, Alicia said it, you gotta enjoy your why. You can't just allow your why to just make you cry. Like, enjoy it. Where you
exactly.
going next? What you doing? Like, I want to be able to say every other month I'm somewhere on somebody's island.
Okay.
Maybe not even on somebody's island, at somebody's beach, or even just at the lake, just sitting there reading a book or doing something, taking that self break, self care from me. So I am so honored and I can't wait. Allison says, that's right. I'm so honored that we had this conversation, and you and I discussed this a couple of weeks ago, and we're like, we got to get back out there, and I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of
Thank you.
who you are, and I am proud of who you are becoming. And no one can rush the process.
No.
No one can force the process, but you have the right to enjoy the process. So
Yes.
as you go through your journey, Alicia Cannon White, enjoy the process. As you
Absolutely.
enter your new season, enjoy the process. As you enter a space where you're about to help out so many people, enjoy it. And as you continue to impart in so many people that are coming your way, I pray that they don't just let your knowledge drop on dry ground, but as you search for the seeds, you are releasing your seeds, they are actually creating seeds and carrying on the mantle or carrying on the vision and the mission that you have had inside of you. So thank you so much, Ms. Cannon White,
Thank
for
you.
being here. We will do this again because this feels good now. Now I'm comfortable now. I'm ready to let's talk some more stuff because I think it's necessary, especially when we're going through this December. This is the last month of the year next year. And I just want Women Emerge Network on this platform for us to have a conversation, for us to bring up an Alicia Cannon, to bring up an Allison, to bring up people that just want to express information and give knowledge to people. Listen, it's too much negativity out of this in this world. But guess
Absolutely.
what? As much as we have negative, we have so much positive, so much love to give. And that's where when you enter the space of Alicia Cannon or Melissa Lambert, you ain't getting nothing negative. So if you're trying to get some juice and it's going to be negative juice, you stepped on the wrong platform.
Baby, I don't have no more nasty Kool-Aid, okay?
None, because I can't take the Kool-Aid like that. That Kool-Aid stinks, honey. We pour that down the drain. Okay.
Absolutely. Now, I can say I would like to um, come back on with you really, really soon to kind of break down the steps of how I was able to overcome some of the trials and tribulations I went through in being in business. I think that, you know, us opening up this conversation was very healthy and very needed.
Yeah.
But sometimes people will look at this and say, you know what? She did it, but I don't know if I can do it.
Mhm.
And so being able to break down the steps and let them digest that will
Yeah.
really, really be healthy for them going into their entrepreneurship coming for the next year. Because I always say, if you are already ready, you don't have to worry about getting ready, right?
Come on.
And the word that is used a lot for entrepreneurs is, "Oh wow, you're so strong,"
Mhm.
and I would like to just change that word up
Mm.
because I'm vulnerable in my business. I'm not strong, but I'm determined.
Come on.
So determination being strong any day, because no
Come
matter
on.
how many times you fall, you're able to get yourself back up.
Yes.
And so thank you again, Melissa, for having me on this platform. I really would like to come back
Absolutely.
before the beginning of the year. If you all are interested in any of the consulting, stay tuned because I will have a big cyber sale tomorrow. Yes. Again, the prices that I'm going to have for the mentorship will be extremely expensive going into the next year because I have so many things again that I'll be doing that if I'm taking from my self-care, my personal health, and my why, then it got to be worth my while. So again, look out for the cyber sale tomorrow. And if you want to come in contact with me, You can send me an email at msow.signup@gmail, or you can reach me on Facebook, Alisha White. Or you can send me a direct message, and I will make sure that I will get back to you at my earliest convenience.
And just to confirm, we have an MSOW sign up at gmail.com. You see it
Yes.
scrolling on the screen. So I want to make sure everybody get that. MSOW sign up at gmail.com. Again, Miss Alisha Cannon, we thank you so much for joining. And absolutely, we're going to have a part two. I really want to see if we can do a back to back. Maybe we can set up something for this upcoming week, because this conversation needs to be had, right? I really want people to understand that this is not something that is going to, it's going to take a time. I mean, it took you a minute to get yourself back up, and you had, even to this day, you're still pulling yourself together. So I don't want anyone to think that mental health or having a mental breakdown in your business, you're going to snap your finger and everything is going to be just fine. So that's why Ms. Cannon White has mentioned she does want to take you through the stages and the steps that she had to take to raise herself up out of that mental breakdown, or, her losing everything to gain so much. Like, she has lost 3 businesses, y'all. But if you know what's to come from Miss Alisha Cannon White, greater is coming her way. And I believe that wholeheartedly, because when you go through something, it's a test to your testimony. So she has a lot of tests that she has gone through, and still she risen from that. And I am, again, thankful that you stand on this stage today on Women Emerge Network to share your truth. And the greater is coming out of this all. So thank you so much. Just kind of before we go, remember, Women Emerge Network, please visit us at womanemergenetwork.com to learn how you can become a member. Also, if you want to come on this platform to share your truth, to talk about, some situations that's in your business, or just to talk about business in general or your personal life, we'll talk about it. We'll figure out what topic we can put to it. But sometimes we just have to take the necessary step that we need to get ourselves going and growing. So if you do want to do that, go to info@womanemergenetwork.com. Send us an email, info@womanemergenetwork.com. Thanks again. We will be having Miss Alisha Cannon back on this platform. We'll let you know when. So thank you. And we truly appreciate you. Bye for now.